Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this training. We're going to be talking about our brand new product Review Champ today. It is a product that is going to help you get customer reviews, and we're very excited to get you guys ramped up quickly. We're going to give you a foundation on why we created it, as well as how you can get up and running and start seeing success right away. My name is Ron Callis. I'm CEO and founder of FIrefly. I am joined by my partner in crime, John Baskerville. He's our director of product, amongst many other titles here at FIrefly. John, how are you?
Doing good, sir. Hello, audience. How you doing, Ron?
I am good, man. Another day in paradise.
That's right.
All right, well, let's get going. Our goal for you today is that we want you to get ramped up and ready to succeed with Review Champ. So hopefully, if you're watching this, that's the same reason you're here. And how are we going to do that? We're going to talk in detail about the background and the reason that we developed this product and some of our experiences. We also are going to go through the details of Review Champ, features and benefits, and then we're going to make sure that you guys get ramped up and are able to get onboarded and using the product right away or as soon as possible. So just moving forward here, let's see if my PowerPoint cooperates. There we go. So when you talk about reviews, I want to give you some foundational data here that's hopefully going to help you understand the why we created this. And look at this statistic. Before dining or shopping, 93% of U.S. consumers check online reviews. One interesting fact is you could pause this training right now and jump over to Google and simply type the name of your business into Google. And if you have any reviews, whether that be Facebook or Google or Home Advisor or Yelp, you name it, you're going to see that content right there on the first page of Google search results. And that's relatively new. Google search has not always worked that way. And so our supposition is that a lot of your customers, a lot of the people that have been referred to you are in fact going online, and they are, I'm not talking about any fancy SEO stuff here, they are simply typing the name of your business. And when they do that, they are seeing online reviews. And we are now in more of a review culture than ever, where you and I, as users of the internet, have quick access to that data, which means people are looking at it and they're going to use that to determine whether they're going to hire you or your competitor. Another fun piece of data is that 72% of consumers trust online reviews as much as recommendations from friends and family. I know I am guilty as charged. When I go and I'm looking for a restaurant, I'm jumping on OpenTable or Yelp, and I'm looking at those reviews. I'm looking at both the star rating and I'm looking at what people say, and I'm trusting that those people are sincere. Now that is a double-edged sword. That can help you and that can hurt you. If someone is going on hating on you or hurting your business online by leaving a negative review, that is going to have a detrimental impact on your business. So I want you to feel empowered now with Review Champ that you can in fact change that. 4 out of 5 consumers have reversed a purchase decision based on negative online reviews. That's kind of scary, isn't it? So maybe they have decided to go with you and then ultimately hear something online, or they hear something from, one of your online reviews, then all of a sudden that opportunity disappears. Has that ever happened to any of you? You've sent out a proposal, the client's all excited, and then the next thing you know, you hear silence. Can't reach them by email, can't reach them by phone, they're non-responsive. Have you ever wondered why that's happened? Maybe they have heard or read something about you, and that has helped them change their mind. Scary. Unhappy customers tell an average of 24 people about their experience. This is according to American Express. And happy ones tell 15. So we've all heard the adage that a happy customer doesn't necessarily go out of their way to tell others about you, but yet an unhappy customer will absolutely go out of their way to harm your business by going online, posting negative reviews, or telling their friends and family and neighbors, never go to XYZ company. Okay, that's just a factor of human nature. And so that means if you as a business owner want to be in the driver's seat, or if you're in a sales role or in a project manager role at an integration firm and you want to be in the driver's seat to positively affect the way your business shows up online, then you guys actually need to take proactive steps to change this. And that is what Review Champ's going to help you do. One more piece of data here for you. It is, there we go, 90% of typical U.S. consumers read online reviews, while only 6% of them write those reviews. So how many of you watching this are guilty of this? You'll go online and you'll read a review and you'll make some judgments based on that. But let's say you go and you have a wonderful experience with, let's say you're buying a car, or you're buying a washer and dryer, or you are working with an interior designer in your home, or you name it. Are you then going out of your way and writing an online review that's going to have a positive impact on that business? The data shows not many of us do that. But yet, the rub is we need to be doing that, because I've demonstrated just a little bit ago that if you go Google your company name, reviews are showing up on page 1. Okay? They are showing up alongside your website, and they are showing up before a lot of other SEO configured content. Okay, so this is something that you have to take seriously. Based on our judgment here at FIrefly, the internet is not going away anytime soon. That means that you need to take steps. Now, you know that. That means you have likely already purchased Review Champ, and you're simply getting geared up, and you're watching this so that you guys and gals can learn how to use this service. So I'm telling you what you already know. Hopefully some of this was new information. Now, what are some of the top reasons that your happy customers do not go online and write reviews? Writing reviews are too tedious. Or maybe they told you they're willing to write a review, because hopefully you've asked them, and they simply forget. I know that I'm guilty of that here. I've also, some of you are guilty. I may have called some of you in years past and said, hey, would you help us out with a Google review or a Facebook review? And often the person will say, absolutely, Ron, I'll be happy to help. We love FIrefly. And then I'll go online and I'll check religiously the environment, Facebook or the platform, and nothing shows up. So there was an intent there, but you didn't necessarily follow through on that because life happened and you didn't get a chance to do it. And then, of course, lastly, there is no time. So in order to convert more of your happy customers into customers that leave you reviews, we need to do the following things. And these things are then assisted and completed by Review Champ. So number 1, we're going to remind them to write a review. Okay, so I'm gonna harp on this throughout this training. I want you guys at the peak of happiness of your client experience, when your customers are very happy with the installation, I want you to ask them if they are then willing to write your company a review. It could go something like this, Mrs. Smith, are you happy with the installation we completed? Yes, it was fantastic, Bob. Good job. Well, Mrs. Smith, would you be willing to give us an online review? It would really help us. We're trying to work on that for our business. Would you be willing to do that? And we're going to make it easy. So you see there, point number 2 is you have to make it easy for them. And I'm going to show you how Review Champ makes it very easy for you to ask for online reviews. And then, sadly, some of them will still get busy and life will happen and they won't do it. So we have to remind them. So they said they would do it because you're following the process here. You're asking them when they're at their peak of happiness, and you then have to tap them on the shoulder and remind them if they have not completed it, which means we need to have the intelligence to know, have we asked them, and have they completed it or not. Because if they've done it, we don't want to bother them and say, hey, can you do it? Because then they're going to get annoyed. So we have to add a bit of intelligence to the system. And we have accomplished exactly that. So you have to create what's called, or the solution is what's called a review funnel. So let me click over here. There we go. My artwork was a little laggy on my computer. So you have what's called a review funnel. Number one is you got to put customers into the funnel. You put them in the funnel by asking them. Review Champ will only work for your business if you and your salespeople and your project managers and all of the people that are interfacing with your customers, when they are at their peak of happiness, only if they are then taking the next step and asking for the review. Number two, you need to make it very easy. So we need to guide them through the review process, step by step by step. We can't expect them to go and simply go follow directions. You know, although I've acknowledged and even commended integrators in the past when maybe they hand out a card and that card says, you know, review us on Yelp, review us on Facebook. Well, you're now asking the customer to go out of their way, take this card, go onto this online environment, log in, and figure out how to leave you a review. All right? So that is good, but there is a better way. And I'm going to show you that, how Review Champ enables you to do this far more effectively. And then lastly, I need you to know if they've given you that review. And if not, we need to remind them. And that's where Monitor and Respond. So Review Champ's going to assist you by helping you or at administrator level understand how many and who have been invited to which platforms. We're also going to inform you who on your staff is doing the asking. Why? Because we want to reward them. We want to thank them for being proactive and helping you grow your business. So how a review funnel works: number one, ask and remind customers to share their online experience. Number two, drive customers to a destination designed to convert them into reviewers. You are going to see that we are going to primarily be doing this through text messaging. Why? How many emails are in your box? How many emails are in your customer's inbox? Right? So although many review solutions out there are email sequencing out to your customer base, our testing and our research correlate and show us that that is not the most effective way to do this. Text messaging your customer is the most effective way to do this today. Now, will it always be this way? We don't pretend to read the tea leaves or have a crystal ball. But today, it is the most effective way. The average the average person is responding to a text message on their phone within seconds, as opposed to an email landing in their inbox, and they might get to it at some point. Okay. Number three, guide each reviewer through by selecting the best review site and completing a review. So we have to, through that test message sequence, and we're going to show you how this works, your customer has to very easily understand exactly what happens and in what order. If it's confusing or there are any barriers, they're going to leave and they're not going to do it. Okay? So, you guys, when you are in front of your customer and you have asked them if they're happy, and if you have then gone and asked them if they're willing to leave you an online review, and if they say yes, then you're going to pull out your phone. I'm going to show you this here. You're going to pull out your phone. A lot of messages here. And you're going to go to this icon called Review Champ, and you're then going to see the screen that's right here on your screen. And this is what we call the kiosk. So this is where your project managers, your salespeople, or you guys, the owners, are going to punch in the cell phone for the customer, the first name, the last name, and then you're going to put in your name. We want your name because we want management to know who on your team is in fact doing the asking. what is immediately going to happen, it's going to go through the interwebs and it's going to land in your customer's phone as a message. And I'm going to show you what that message says here in just a moment. But that's how immediate it's going to happen. They say yes, you're going to ask them for their phone number, you're going to punch it in, they're going to get the message right there while they're standing in front of you. Now, if you are in a retail environment or phone is not the best way to go about it, you can also do this from your PC. So here you see what the PC kiosk looks like. It is the same. By the way, this is password protected. So each and every one of you, when you've signed up for ReviewChamp through your setup process, we will be giving you your designated invite page. Your invite page for mobile and PC will have your company logo at the top, and it is your proprietary page. So every business obviously has their own page. So that's how that looks. Now, back to mobile. You notice that I referenced accessing this from your mobile phone, quickly from the home screen. Well, how exactly do you do that? So I'm giving you a step-by-step sequence, and this is an example if you're on an iPhone. If you are on an Android device, then it's going to be something very similar. But when you are on the page, meaning you guys would have typed in the URL that we would have provided, that is your mobile kiosk or your PC kiosk, then you're going to come down to this icon. Let me get my little clicker here. And this guy right here, it's a square with an arrow. You're going to click it, and that's going to bring up this menu. When you scroll through this menu, you're going to see Add Bookmark. This Add Bookmark is going to add your bookmark for that page for ReviewChamp to your home screen. You are then going to see this green and white icon show up. This is the ReviewChamp icon. And you are then going to retype the text that shows up here, and you're going to type in the name ReviewChamp. That way you know exactly what it is. And then it's on your desktop, or on your home screen. And then through moving icons around on your home screen, you can move it. I would recommend making it as quickly accessible as possible. So move it all, drag and drop over to your home page. If you want it buried in a folder, that is entirely up to you. But that's how you go about that. Hopefully that is clear. If it's not clear, you can rewatch this. Next is how to save it and make it quickly accessible on your PC. So here's an example of how you go about doing that if you are on a Chrome browser. You simply, again, will go to the invite page. You will have your own unique URL for your invite page. And you will then simply click on the star right up here on Chrome, and that's where you can add this to your bookmark bar. And then if you want, you can call it FIrefly, or you can call it ReviewChamp. And then that's going to now be accessible right in the toolbar, right underneath your main URL. So I use my bookmark toolbar every day. I have all of my common websites. When I've been on webinars with you guys, I've probably referenced a lot of those common websites as I'm pulling up different data. So now my ReviewChamp icon is right there in my toolbar. So if I'm on the phone with you guys and we're having a positive experience, which hopefully we always are, I'm often going to then say, this is part of my new routine, well, hey, would you mind helping me out? Sure, Ron, I'd be happy to help you out. Would you be willing to give us an online review? Sure, what do I do? Stand right there. What is your cell phone? And I'm going to collect it, and then bing, right there, real time on your cell phone, you're going to get that message. Okay? Now, the customer is going to see this screen. It's going to be your icon, your logo, and it's going to be the message. As a valued customer, we'd really appreciate hearing about your recent experience. Would you mind taking a quick moment to let us know how we did? Now, here's where some of the magic happens, and that is if we are gating their response. Okay, this is part of the special sauce of ReviewChamp. So if they give you a 4 or a 5 star, then we're going to gate them and send them to a screen where they're going to give us, have the opportunity to give a review on either Facebook or Google. But they also, if they have a preference, they certainly could go to Home Advisor or Yelp. So I'm going to ask John actually to jump in now and talk in a little bit more detail. Should you be directing them to Facebook and Google? And or should you be directing them somewhere else, and why? John, can you help us with that?
Yeah, sure. So as a strategy, we prioritize Facebook and Google. And that's simply put because that is what's going to have the greatest impact in your business. And it's not to say you may certainly have or not have customers or potential customers on Angie's List, Houzz, Yelp, you name it. But generally speaking, that audience is also on Facebook and Google, and the same cannot be said in the reverse. So we build up your reviews there, and then we reset the strategy to determine the next best review site to direct reviews to. Secondly, there have been discussions in the past as to whether ratings actually affect online performance. And I would say the jury is in, certainly from the standpoint that we have concluded that there is a strong correlation between a strong online review profile and good search engine performance. So there's a strong correlation between the two. But that's why we choose those two first. But you're always going to have the option to come back to us or in consultation with us to determine what is the next best online review site to target for your business. And there are hundreds. And so you have options, but we prioritize Facebook and Google first.
Okay. Thank you, John. Now, John, if you could stay on, if you don't mind. Because what we're going to talk about right now is, let's see if my screen updates, is the web stream. Now, we have the ability with ReviewChamp, and this is included in the service. You can either choose as an integrator or choose as a customer of ours to utilize this or not. But we are able to scrape the internet and all of the review sites and feed that directly into our clients' websites. And that could go into, say, a testimonial page or into a home page. John, how exactly does that happen? What are some of the mechanical steps that take them from watching this training video to, in fact, getting their review web stream on their website?
All right, so what's going to happen is everyone that signs up for ReviewChamp, our web team is going to work with you to get this embedded into your website. So in many cases, if you worked with us in the past, we already have FTP or admin credentials to your website. In the case that we do not, our web team will reach out to you to gain that access. But we would then go and embed this into, I would say, one, if not two places on your website. The first place would be the home page, and we would display a widget, what we're calling a widget. It would display one review and simply rotate through additional reviews. It's not to take up too much real estate on your home page with a stream. And then if you have a testimonials page or an about us page or some other place where a stream might be appropriate, we would then go embed a stream, a full list of streams of review sites to display on that page. And we would go back, historically to look at all of the reviews that you've earned online, and we would pull that into your website. There's also going to be schema markup in that embed code. And what that basically uses is Google's structured data standards to understand what types of content is being pulled into that website. So if you think about movies or recipes or menus or reviews in this case, that structured data has categories of types of content that Google could then display in a search engine result as what they call a rich snippet. So if you ever looked for a company online and you've seen a 4-star or 5-star underneath their search engine result, that is called a rich snippet, and you use a schema markup that we're actually using as a technique to embed along with these reviews and adhering to Google structured data standards. Now, we can't guarantee that and force Google to display that rich snippet under your search engine result, but it is very, very likely that that is what's going to happen. And so that is also part of the service and a benefit of installing these review streams onto your website.
Awesome. Thank you, John. And if you guys want to see a live example of this, you can go over to onefirefly.com, go over to our testimonials page, and scroll to the bottom of the page, and you'll see a live example of what a full web stream looks like, review stream looks like. Just keep in mind, you can choose to do a full stream of, say, 10 reviews or more, and or you could lessen that to a smaller number of reviews, say if we're embedding that into the homepage on your website. You don't want to take up so much real estate. Now, part of the magic of Review Champ is that if they give you 1, 2, or 3 stars, we are not sending them to an online platform to leave you a review. Rather, we're gating that and we're keeping it internal. So here's an example of the screen that would then be queued up next in their sequence as to the message that, hey, we care about your feedback. Please help us understand how we could be better and improve. And the real beauty here, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is not going online. This is simply going to go to a designated email address for somebody on your team. And that really is, this is part of what's empowering you to drive the positive reviews online while keeping the negative reviews off of your online presence. And it's also a great opportunity to turn a customer around. And if they're unhappy, let's get them happy. Jump on this. Take this as an awesome opportunity to improve the situation. If you go back and remember, an unhappy customer is going to go out of their way to tell people how unhappy they are with your service. You want to jump on that right away and get them happy as soon as possible and to the best of your ability. Now, next we have here the dashboards. This is the Review Champ dashboard. This is how you are going to monitor how many review requests have been put into your funnel, where the reviews are going in terms of platform, and who on your team is doing the asking. So I am going to see if technology will cooperate here, and I'm going to give John a screen share, and John's going to do a live demo for the back end of the dashboard. John, I'm going to send over the presenter status to you now.
Yep. Okay, confirm you can see the screen.
I can see it.
Okay, so this is the back end that you're going to see when you log into Review Champ. You're going to have access to reporting and reviews. Currently, we are in the reporting tab. And what you're going to see first thing when you log in here is you're going to see the number of total reviews, not just from the start date of service with Review Champ, but the total number of reviews that you've accrued online historically. So in this case, we're looking at 42 reviews ultimately, and that aggregate or that average rating is 4.7. You can see how many stars you've gotten, how many 5 stars you've gotten, how many 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can go down and get additional information here. We're seeing the mix of both Google versus Facebook online reviews. If you have other platforms, that will show up here too. But this is over the last, I would say, 30 days. If I want to go back and let's say broaden this this date range here, I'll just go back to 2010. And I'll set that date range, and I can see Facebook is certainly predominant in terms of the percentage of online reviews that have been accrued here. So 29 Facebook, 13 Google. So you can see that breakdown. You can see funnel activity, the number of visits, how many online reviews there resulted in. You can see the actual internal ratings in terms of not the ratings that happen on Facebook, but how many people are clicking 5 stars, 3 stars, and so on in that initial sentiment request. So you'll have that data initially right there as well. If you keep scrolling down here, you can see the invites. So the text campaigns that have been sent out, 36, and then 36 clicks. That's what Ron was talking about in terms of text versus email. The conversion rate on engagement, in fact, is very, very high. From the closest point of inviting them, letting them know, informing them that they will get this invite, that text message shows up, it's highly likely they're going to click on it. If you scroll down also, you'll get some sentiment analysis. So the platform actually crawls the text of the review and picks up on keywords that are showing up. And in this case, what shows up most often in reviews here is team, website, you got Ron's name there, some other terms there, and nothing in the red, so that's good. But you could scroll down this meter here and sort of adjust to see what types of positive or negative things are being said about your reviews by your customers. The other tab here is reviews. So this is actually all the reviews that are being pulled in. So in this case, if it's Facebook, Google, again, How's, Angie's List, any of that stuff will be pulled in. But this is a centralized, you can think of it as a centralized dashboard for all of your reviews versus having to go out to all these disparate sites to figure out what types of reviews have been left there. If you want to know where all your Google, Facebook reviews, what customers are saying, Facebook, it's all right here for you. You can see the star ratings. And what's important here is the tag column. So again, if you have technicians out in the field providing a service and they're capturing reviews of those customers, as Ron said, we want them to tag in that kiosk, in that invite form. We want them to add their name as a tag. And what that's going to afford is you coming in here and seeing what technician actually generated that review for your business. And that will show up here in the tags column. So it's not something we do. It's not applicable to our business, but certainly for yours. Have the technicians add their name in the tag field. And then when they do, you could come in here and, you say Mike, you type Mike in and you hit search, and then all of Mike's generated reviews will show up for you in the dashboard here. They'll be filtered out by his tag. And that's the back end. So there's a lot of information here for you. And, if you have any questions or concerns or like us to answer any questions on how you use this, just reach out to us.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Okay, so when do you ask? You can all repeat in chorus. We ask when the client is at the peak of happiness. So I think I've reiterated that a few times. Who should ask? Everybody that is interfacing with the client when they are at that peak of happiness. That's your salespeople, your project managers, could be the owners, could be your service technicians. If you're on a retail floor, could be your retail salespeople. So that's your call, and it's custom to your business. Now, a question that I've received often is, well, Ron, I've been in business for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Can I go back to my book of business and get them to give me reviews? The answer is absolutely yes. But there is a technique that we recommend when doing that. And that is do not, and I repeat, do not simply put in their cell phone, their first name, last name, and shoot them the message. Your response rate or your conversion rate is going to be very poor. I'm going to estimate it's going to be less than 10%, probably closer to 5%. If you call them and ask them how are they doing, it gives you a great reason to touch base with your customer. Maybe they haven't bought anything from you in a while. And you ensure that everything is still working, that they're still happy. And then you ask them, you know what, Mr. Smith, we are trying to build our online review profile, and it would really be helpful if you feel positive about your experience with us, if you could help us by giving us an online review. If we made it very easy for you to do that, would you be willing to help us? And your customers, often, many of them will say yes. So then the next step, and the key is, right then and there, pulling out your mobile kiosk or your PC, putting in their cell phone and their first name and their last name and your name, and then sending them the message. And in fact, verifying right there while the customer is on the phone with you. All right, did you just get a message? Great. At your convenience, now or in the next few minutes, can you fill that out for me? If you do that, then in fact, you're going to be able to leverage all of your past book of business and really build quickly a strong online review profile. And this is game changing, guys. This is, I think, going to be one of the best return on investments for any marketing investment that you've made. I feel that passionately about that. And we are going to do our best here at FIrefly to shout this from the mountaintops, because we are now putting you into the driver's seat to affect your future. An idea that I think is fun and is going to result in a higher level of participation from your staff is going to be gamifying this. So run a contest. Because we're tracking who on your team is doing the asking, our recommendation is give a reward. Could be weekly, could be monthly, for your customers that are in fact willing and able to go online and give those online reviews. So if Tony, your technician, is a standout, then hell, let him win that cash prize every month and stand up in front of your team and be acknowledged, because they are making a significant impact on your overall company marketing simply by talking to their customers and walking them through the process. What we have covered today is the background on why we did it and why this is important, the features and benefits, the deployment process, and I think we have dotted all of our I's, crossed all of our T's. If you're watching this, you should already be a customer. Therefore, your onboarding email should already be in Basecamp and or in your inbox, so that you can be taken to this all of your appropriate email addresses with the login credentials, or the website addresses for your kiosks, along with your dashboard. And we are here to help you. So we have designated client service manager, Elizabeth, that is helping our clients get ramped up with this, and or John and or Taylor or Vanessa or any member of our team will get you pointed in the right direction. And we want you guys to embrace this and get up and start using this right away. If you're watching this webinar and you're my customer, then there's no reason you can't start using ReviewChamp right now. So on that note, thank you so much for joining us, and I really appreciate it. John, do you want to jump in and say goodbye?
Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we are, like Ron said, we are excited. So just reach out, give us any feedback also on your experience. All right, so we want to know that too. If you have any recommendations or suggestions for how we might do something better, feature requests, you name it, or problems just using the service, we want to know and help you out. So just reach out to us.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Great job. And thank you out there for watching. We'll be in touch soon.
Thanks.